is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a guy you could safely, very safely call a grizzled vet in his 14th season out of Harvard. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's one of those guys that's been around the block a few times in the NFL, and at this stage in his career, what he lacks in big playability, he more than makes up for it in veteran leadership, a real knowledge of the game, and being a terrific locker room presence.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And on the ground they go with a running back. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And Desean Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, he usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick on 1st down. That's caught by Howard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Fitzpatrick now on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Evans. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Alex Okafor in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
And the Saints got everything they want out of Marshawn Lattimore and more his rookie season. Yes, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Here's the best part. Didn't give up a single touchdown pass all season and made it very difficult for people to complete a pass in his area.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On 4th down, the Bucs will call on Anger. Brian Anger to punt it away. take the field. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They run it again with Kamara. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Back near his goal line. Here's Breeze. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. That's taken it around the 40. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out, 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense draws.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
The Bucs on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
So after that stop, you know that 3rd down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the necessary yardage.
Fitzpatrick on 3rd and 2. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. He finds Humphreys. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. And on the ground they go with a running back. Down right around the 25. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now a 2nd down throw for Fitzpatrick. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
On is Chandler Catanzaro now for the Buccaneer field goal. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. And here's Lewis. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end. And now it's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Breeze now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. 1st and 10 at the 19. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 3-0 is our score. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Ready. Yellow lady. Ready, set.
On 1st down, Breeze. And his throw is incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Everyone's ready. You waiting?
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Ready. Yellow waiting.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. On the return, this is Jaquiz Rogers. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
2nd down, Fitzpatrick. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Fitzpatrick, and that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Well, as we look back to the final week of the preseason and the roster cuts, that final day roster cuts, a lot of noise was made. The biggest noise, though, Khalil Mack moving to the Windy City.
That's one that, let's look at it from Chicago's perspective. A young team growing, building on both offense and defense, and it's a city that loves defense. They love their linebackers. Khalil Mack being added to that group, that's just a win-win for them. Now you flip it over to Oakland. I never thought they'd let Khalil Mack go. I thought they'd figure out a way to get it done, but somehow, during the contract negotiations, everything broke down, and they decided to save that money, and they'll put it elsewhere in their roster. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
They force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Ready? You waiting?
From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Gerald McCoy able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, Any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at the 33. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Fitzpatrick. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Let's make a quick pivot here to revisit a topic from the last couple of weeks. We've been discussing, well, which rookie starters are going to be in there week 1. It appears to be only one right now, Sam Darnold of New York, correct?
That sounds correct based on what we've heard from the different teams. All of them have made their announcements and their proclamations about their starter, and Sam Darnold's going to get the ball to begin. But for me, it's how long will he remain the only rookie starter? I don't know if it would be terribly long. I look in Buffalo, I think Josh Allen will get his shot fairly early. I look in Arizona, I think Josh Rosen the same, depending on how their teams come out of the gate. And at some point, Baker Mayfield will play this year for the Cleveland Browns.
Seems to be more pressure each year on these franchises to get the rookies in there early, doesn't it?
It certainly does. When you spend that type of draft capital, that type of money, we don't wait nearly as long, and the good coaching staffs meet these kids halfway with what they did in college and turn them loose in the NFL.
He's got the hook up here to Desean Jackson. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, Fitzpatrick. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Alex Okafor in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Third and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at the 20.
Ready? You waiting?
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. Ready, they set.
Again, it's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Ready? You waiting? Ready,
From the gun, it's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Gerald McCoy in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. 1st down, Fitzpatrick. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Jackson. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Desean Jackson that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Fitzpatrick again. Over the middle to Evans. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The result, a 1st down as a quick slant gets him 14.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll throw again. Fitzpatrick. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter, it's a good running back dive play.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Fitzpatrick again. And that is incomplete here. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Third and goal for Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Catanzero's kick is right through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. And here's Lewis. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Mike Gillislee now with the rest of this offense heading back onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Ready? You ready? Set.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Breeze on the bootleg. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Ready? Yellow lady.
Breeze now on 1st down. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far.
Ready, set. Yellow lady.
Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Breeze to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Watson. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's hit on his last 7 straight passes.
Ready. United.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now, Breeze again. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Ready.
Again, it's Breeze. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Breeze now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Cameron Meredith in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. Rodgers on the return. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that, but for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the second half with Kamara, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Waiting.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. On the incompletion, I turn to you as we continue to do all these Week 1 predictions, and I ask, Rookie of the Year, could this be a battle for Gotham between Darnold and Barkley?
I like it. I like that a lot. A quarterback, Sam Darnold with the Jets, a runner, Saquon Barkley with the New York Giants. But I'm thinking defense, and I'm going out west to the Denver Broncos. Bradley Chubb, defensive end, outside linebacker. Remember, Von Miller's on the other side. He'll take up a lot of attention. That should give Chubb more one-on-one opportunities to get quarterbacks on the ground.
Fitzpatrick now. Evans has it left side. And down he'll go at the 25. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Bucs on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Fitzpatrick. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Ready? You waiting?
On 1st down, Brees. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Ready? You waiting?
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A give. This is Kamara. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ready? Yellow waiting.
Now Brees on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, partner, the last couple weeks I've been asking you about the favorites in each division. We talked about Super Bowl predictions and all that, but what about a team from each side that might surprise us a little bit this year?
Well, the one I'm going to start with in the AFC shouldn't be a surprise when you look at who they have returning from injury, and that's the Houston Texans. They were running the AFC South for a while when everyone was healthy and J.J. Watt was getting to the quarterback.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sheldon Rankins coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Third and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? From the gun, Fitzpatrick. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Breeze now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Running with Kamara. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Here's a carry now for Mike Gillislee. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Saints on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready? We're waiting.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from a long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. And that's incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Second down, Fitzpatrick. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation, and that's what they call getting home, because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
Here's Brian Anger now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Bree's going to try and throw on 3rd down. Breaking that one up was Justin Evans. Read it perfectly.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. Now a 2nd down throw for Fitzpatrick. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on third down. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he fields it cleanly. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there at 22.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for him there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Brees now on first down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Gerald McCoy getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Brees. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 5 yards on the pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Brees. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. He's going to air one out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Second down, looking to throw. Fitzpatrick. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. On 3rd down, that's Barber. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Fitzpatrick on 1st down. The left side completion to Jones. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
First down, Fitzpatrick. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And Watson has it right side. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches say. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Fitzpatrick now after the fumble recovery. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. That leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard from 19 yards away. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Set to go now with the kickoff. These 2 teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. Kamara. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
We're waiting.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Ready. We're waiting.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. On the ground, Kamara. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's Gillisley. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That is caught inside the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And Lutz's kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
First down, Fitzpatrick. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a first down carry by Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. He'll look to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. They'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down. He's back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Barber. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. First things first here, they got to pick up the first down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And here's Lewis. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Back to throw, Breeze. And this is going to be intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
So now it all comes down to Chandler Catanzaro. This from 55 yards out. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So now it all comes down to Chandler Catanzaro. This from 55 yards out. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready. You waiting?
Now Breeze. He'll let it fly in the direction again. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Ready. You waiting?
Breeze to throw. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And incomplete on the deep ball. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Rodgers on the return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Okay, let's face it. Most of the offensive linemen in today's NFL, they're going to weigh over 300 pounds. But that doesn't mean they don't have agility. And the way that they can get out in front of a runner and create a space, sometimes it looks like they're going in one direction, and the runner uses his eyes to take him in another direction because it's been blocked so well. Love those misdirection or counter plays, and this one worked really well for a nice piece of yardage.
Now the first throw in overtime for Fitzpatrick. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
To throw on 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. He's going to let this one go deep. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
That part 1 is done, now part 2. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Ready? We're waiting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
What can Breeze do now with his drive? He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. They picked up a first down and a whole lot more. Forget about just looking for the sticks. They went well beyond the stick.
I know they were talking about guarding the sticks on defense. They didn't guard them very well. They got a big-time completion on a third down. That's almost a backbreaker, isn't it? In overtime, every play's importance is magnified. And that one could turn out to be huge.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 23. Now Kamara, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for him. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal's from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.